Hey guys. Um, let's see. I'm actually doing my best to um, I'm trying to re-register my car. Not actually my car. Well, it is my car. I inherited it from my father. I had to sell my car during COVID because um, let's see. Hey, Flower is here. Flower, how are you? Flower says hi. How are you? I'm okay. I'm trying to re-register my car that used to belong to my father. Um, and I'm having a hard time. I probably shouldn't be doing it while I'm distracted. Um, Flower says she's good. I'm not doing too bad, actually. Um, Kay's here. Kay, how are you? I'm about to check online and see who's up and running. We got Kay has a premiere up right now. I can't miss the last day of burpees. This is a big day. Technically, if you wanted, you'd never have to do a burpee again. But that'd be no fun. Hey, you made it through the month. Not only did you do burpees, but you had picture perfect squats as well. It was a big month. It was a really good month. Hey, speaking of working out, Flower, you had a big workout yesterday. How'd that go? How do you feel? So, just leaving a quick little comment here. And the jogging starts. When the jogging place starts, that's when you know it's go time. Kyle Wesker is here. Kyle, how are you? Appreciate you guys being here. We are checking out Kay and those excellent burpees. If you guys want to take a minute, well, Kay, she already knows. She's already done it. Flower says, man, my stomach hurts. Attempted to do it again today, but man, I couldn't. Take a day off, get some rest, come back strong tomorrow. Um, so technically, I'm not a big fan of multitasking. However, sometimes, you got to support your people. As well, um, I got our friend Ivy up and playing. And um, Dagmar. We're give some watch hours to people. Important if your goal is to get monetized.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
And that's our friend Cruze of Motivation. Flower says hi to Kyle, asking how he's doing. Hey, speaking of people, our friend Chris K came in last night's session, offering an apology. He felt misunderstood. He felt that he was disrespected and people were taking one side over another. I didn't see how it all went down, and I told him that. Um, all I know is, apologies go a long way. Flower says, "Hey Eric, how about you try quad aerobics? Quad aerobics is a quad aerobics. There's an O in there, right?" Um, Flower says, "Chris did. He did. Um, I've done. I think I mentioned this that um, animal movement training, where you do bear crawls, lizard crawls, um, monkey hops, all kinds of stuff. It's a really great workout. I enjoy it. Um, however, um, I need to see. I meant to look it up. I need to see um, the crowd aerobics. I'm going to put up our friend Mayhem and Miracles as well. I won't be able to listen really, but I'll have her up and I can say hi to her. So I've mentioned before that, yeah, my objective is to monetize. Um, Not only to monetize, but to have a small but successful um, YouTube channel. I think I've mentioned before in Hawaiian shamanism, when they talk about when you offer up a wish, and in Hawaiian shamanism, wishes are a vital part of the spiritual tradition. That a wish is actually an intent that you are keying into that force of intent. Intent is just a field of energy, much like gravity, much like other quantum fields, and that we enter a wish, a desire, much the same way Deepak Chopra talks about, calling it the spontaneous fulfillment of desire, which is based on a yogic principle. When you quiet your mind, you enter an intent or a wish or a prayer into the quietness that follows your meditation, and you let the universe take care of the details. That doesn't exclude working. Sometimes working is part of the wish, the opportunity to do the work that gets you where you want to be, would like to be. You also need to have the mindset of non-attachment, as well as faith, universe is handling the details. God is handling the detail. Straight from the Bible, not my will, Lord, but thou's. Flower says, I kind of understood what he felt, but didn't mention it because I thought I'd just look stupid and idiotic if I was wrong. Hey, you know what, though? If you were wrong, it's perfectly okay to be wrong. And then we can clear it up, you know? I'm wrong often. And I have little trouble being wrong. And I have little trouble being corrected. So always feel free to speak your mind. Always happy when people do. Flower, I want to add to that too in a minute. Flower says, damn, when I realized what you said, when I heard Chris, I just felt happy and freaking smile grew on my face. I was very happy that he apologized. Good. I'm glad you're happy. I was happy he came back too and apologized. But you know what? He's convinced that everyone who shows up in the afternoon chats hates him now. And I said that's not the case at all. And to come in and find out for yourself. One thing I can say, the people who come here to chat on a regular basis, they're not a hateful group of people at all. It's a very forgiving, kind-hearted group, which makes me happy to know that I've been blessed with people who show up and are that way. Flower says, haha, I can't stop smiling. So yeah, I was talking about the Hawaiian shamanism, yoga practice, intent. Intent is very big if you ever read Carlos Castaneda. And again, he talks about it in the same way, that it's energy, it's a field. You enter your wish, your desire, your purpose into that field of intent, and you let go. Happy to explain if anyone ever wants to try the Hawaiian art of making a wish. I've outlined it before. Very simple, easy process. Give it a try. It's no different than a prayer. You're just incorporating elements, a life force. Flower says, I wonder if he'll come this session. He might. I told him he's always invited. And I said, you know, don't take my word for it, how people will react. You just got to show up and find out. So one of the most important things to realize is that every wish has a dark side. And you need to be careful. I talked to Flower about this before, actually. You just need to be careful how and what you wish for, because you don't know the involvement. You wish for a long life, and you live 20 years longer than you might have, but in constant pain or whatever. You wish for wealth, and you end up being a higher tax bracket, and it just destroys your state of mind, your peaceful state of mind, and you're more miserable than you were before. So you sort of have to be a little nuanced in how you navigate it. And for me, my wish, and I talked about it with, YouTube, just enough. I don't need to be big. I don't need to be anything other than I am, for whatever that's worth. And to earn just enough, being creative in my own way. I don't edit. I don't do any of the fancy stuff. So for me, it's just doing nature shorts, having conversations, and reading the stuff that I write. from my blog. That's the extent of it. We'll see. We'll see if that's possible. So anyway, I'm working towards the watch hours. And what I've discovered is how much fun it is to help other people get theirs, to help other people gain more subscribers, to help other people reach their dream. Our friend Destiny is here. Destiny says, hello, Eric, and blessings to you on this lovely Tuesday. How are you? I'm doing really well today. Had another great morning out in nature, 2 times early in the morning, and I found myself again right in the middle of a herd of deer. And then later today, I was out, all kinds of different birds. Man, I love seeing mourning doves. They're just, I think, one of the prettiest birds. Kay says, let's all hit the like button, fam. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate that. Our friend Noble is here. It says Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo is a nickname for Yogi. Noble has a million of them. He will never run out of nicknames. Destiny says hello and blessing to you, Flower. Flower says it's like life broke me up and told me to be disappointed. Disappointed in what? Oh, here we go. I missed the first thing. I actually woke up yesterday and could have joined, but the lights were off and the battery ran out of power and didn't have Wi-Fi. But that's okay. Because you're here now, and that's the thing that counts. And we got everyone saying hello. And my cat is here saying hello to everyone as well, tapping me on the leg. It's funny how insistent and yet polite cats can be. They will keep tapping and tapping and tapping until they get your attention. And then they just shrug and like, just wanted to check in. Unlike dogs, and I absolutely love dogs. I miss having a dog. I have a loner dog that I've talked about before, Misty. But dogs, when they are not quite as patient as cats, they are all go all the time. I'm waiting for Noble to get a dog. I think that'd be a nice addition to the live stream. Destiny says, thanks everyone for joining Eric's live. Please remember to smash the like button and share out the host. So, talking about helping people on YouTube and how important it's become to me, a very meaningful part of my day. First thing in the morning, and I've mentioned before how early I get up. I don't get online first thing in the morning. Prioritize breathwork, meditation, yoga, writing. That's my commitment. Then getting out in nature, and then I'm online, and I'll bring everyone up. The people that need watch hours, the people that I want to make sure that I swing by and give them some kind of positive message, positive affirmations. Flower says, blessings to you too, Miss Destiny. Noble says, can you eat yogurt? Physically? Can I physically eat yogurt? Yes. I am capable. Are you asking me if I'm capable of eating yogurt? Or if it's like outside of my realm of physical hand-eye coordination? That, like, do I keep hitting myself in the forehead with a spoon? Do I keep missing my mouth? Physically, I can eat yogurt. Dietary-wise, the dietary choices that I make, no dairy whatsoever. Nothing that ever had a mother, nothing that ever had a face. So it's a good rule whenever chatting with a vegan. Uh, One, no, it's never going to be an easy conversation. You're never going to have an easy conversation with a vegan. That's not necessarily true. I don't try to convert people to veganism. I do point out the suffering of animals and that the reason I became a vegan is because of that. Um, Mocha and I both talked before that if the medical establishment came out definitively saying that the vegan diet is the worst possible diet for your health, we'd both have to shrug our shoulders and say, well, we'll have to make the best of it because we are vegans for the ethical concerns. Um, if there was, I don't even think going back to like small farms for me, getting meat from a small farm where it was raised ethically, I don't even think I could do that because just the empathy has grown too large to be able to eat, especially, well, I say especially cows because they're such soulful animals. If you've ever looked in the eye of a cow, you've actually seen a soul. So no yogurt. You didn't expect that long answer when you asked that question. That's what I mean about you got to be careful when you ask the vegan a question. Um, they make vegan yogurt, so you can say vegan yogurt. Because Noble says, I want to call you yogurt, but not if you can't eat it. Then nope. You can say vegan yogurt. Um, Destiny says, what topics are on the table today, Eric? I love talking about your turtles. I love talking about turtles too. Speaking of soul, um, Zen masters, turtles. Does it get any more patient, any more stoic, any more when you look at a turtle stretched out on a log, enjoying that touch of sun? Is there anything more spiritually and physically beautiful than that? And that the turtle will just sit and wait, nowhere to go. His home is right there. Her home is right there. Perfectly content. I'm going to tie that into making a wish. And one of the things we've talked about with our friend Goldie, um, the art of contentment, which is actually a yogic foundation principle. It's in the five um, niyamas, personal observances. Finding ourselves content. Asking ourselves, how much do we actually need past a certain point? Even Abraham Maslow expanded his hierarchy of needs, where you had the basic um, tenets of life had to be met before you went up and went up and went up, eventually becoming self-actualized. Later, he realized after living with the Blackfoot Indians in Montana that you don't need your basic level met before you can be kind and empathetic. You got to start from there and then you work your way up. Um, so, the power of contentment. Is there any animal more content than a turtle? So yeah, we've been talking about intent and helping each other, helping people on YouTube. We got an entire internet, a YouTube world filled with people who each has a goal for what they want to do with their channel. Um, Destiny's mentioned several times that YouTube's her business, and her business is to serve, is to help people. What a beautiful way to go through life. Noble just wants to make people happy. Come visit, have a good time with Noble. That could be the name of his channel, Have a Good Time with Noble. Um, Although people might get the wrong impression. But that's what it's all about. You get a welcome from Noble. You get an enthusiastic welcome. I love the fact that Kay combines her love of fitness and her love of gardening. Odom, spiritual gardener, breaking out in song, just because the sun's hitting him, because he's got his hand in soil, because he's helping something grow and spontaneously breaking out in song. That's the inspiration from a turtle, as well as cows. Um, Although, since we're talking about animals, um, chickens have the emotional intelligence of a toddler. Some say a 2-year-old. I don't know if we should put an age. I think it's better to say toddler. Um, and not just chickens. Ask Noble how smart crows are. Flower says, Noble, just like a sweet drunk dad, like I said before. Noble says, I don't drink that much. I don't even drink that much. You need a better comparison. Um, I think it's the lovability factor that she's mostly talking about. Destiny says, nature is a home. We need to spend more time at home enjoying her beauty. And it takes so little. A 20-minute walk in nature, I mentioned yesterday, um, your brain immediately settles into the alpha wavelength. The alpha wavelength is the wavelength of dreaming, of creativity, of inspiration. As soon as you get out in nature, as soon as the fractals hit the eyes and changes the nature of the brain, you're getting all the benefits of meditation. So if you have a hard time sitting still in meditation, it's just not your thing. That's the way it is with some people. Wake up and do breath work. Your breath work will change your physiology, as well as to begin to alter your the nervous state that you're in, change your brain waves, and then you get outside in nature, and the job's complete. When you get inside, you're ready for work. I'd recommend, and I talked about this yesterday, a little bit of yoga asana posture practice, just a little bit, not a real extensive. You just do a round or two of sun salutation, a beautiful full body prayer. You're literally saluting the sun for the gift of today with your entire body, your breath, and your mind. Man, what a beautiful way to start your day. There's the practice right there. And I'm skipping meditation, which is important to note because I teach meditation. Um, you're up, breath work. I'm also skipping breakfast. That comes later. Get this stuff done first. So you're up, you do your breath work. In the morning, I recommend Breath of Fire, which gives you that sense of low key energy, puts you lightly into that sympathetic nervous state. You do your round or two of sun salutation plus an inversion, shoulder stand to get your reverse the blood flow so that you are getting fresh blood into your heart and your heart works less. And that gears you up and you're out in nature. Do a 20-minute walk. When you come in, you could write in a gratitude journal. You could do something creative. You could draw. You could paint. You could sculpt. You could do origami. Um, work on your YouTube channel, editing, but you're geared towards inspiration at that point because nature has put you in that state. As our friend Destiny just said, you're home. You went out in nature and you literally went home. This, all around me, I'm doing hand gestures no one can see. This is shelter. The shelter full of love. I grew up here. Awesome memories. I was taken care of here, and I took care of both my parents here um, as they got older. Um, I was here in a room downstairs holding my father's hand when he passed away. But home, it's just as much outside as well. So, Destiny says hi to Kyle. Noble says, I would have to surround myself by alcohol to be compared to being drunk. That's true. Flower has a good point too, though. Yeah, but you sound drunk every day, but in a way, in a good way. You have the exuberance naturally, without effort and without need of artificial um, aid of someone who's had a couple drinks. And that, you know what, I agree with Flower. That's actually a good thing. Um, People have to drink to get that, and it doesn't last, and sometimes it turns mean. You simply have to be. That's it. And you're a naturally caring, compassionate, exuberant, come here and let me give you a hug person. That's a gift, and to me, that's what makes your channel uh, so successful, is the fact that you have that gift. Destiny says, Noble, I'm doing great. How are you? Noble says, you must never have been around drunk people. I definitely don't sound drunk all the time. Man, I've spent way too much time around drunk people. I spent a decade around drunk people, being one myself. Perhaps being the most successful drunk person of all the drunk people. And by successful, I mean successfully drunk, not in a success in any other way. I wonder, you know, I know moderation. People love to put that out there. Um, I honestly don't think even a moderate bit of alcohol, even a little bit of alcohol, I don't think it's good for you. It's the reason why it's called spirits, because it actually, originally it was thought to that you were opening yourself up to spirits by drinking, that you were literally ingesting spirits. Um, I don't know that I hold that, but I do know that it doesn't do the brain any good, doesn't do the soul any good, doesn't do the body any good. Flower says, oh, I definitely have been around drunk people. Cases say to Noble. Destiny says, your turtles vids you uploaded recently, and you're super amazing, great work, Eric. Thank you. I showed y'all when I got it, and a couple times since, the birthday present I got from Mocha, and she gave it to me early. I don't know if I've ever received a better physical present. How much I love that, getting outside and being able to bring things close to me. That I literally get to look in a turtle's eye. I posted one, this was maybe a month or so ago, of a turtle, and I caught it blinking. And you literally sense the slow blink of eternity. There's a reason why in indigenous shamanic traditions, they say that the world exists in the back of a turtle. And when a woman presented that to the father of American psychology, William James, and it was in a lecture, and she said that she believed the universe existed on the back of a turtle, and William James smiled and said, but thinking that he had her, that he was going to stump her. But what's underneath that turtle? And she smiled and said, it's just turtles all the way down. And I absolutely love that line, turtles all the way down. That's reality for you. So Destiny, I appreciate that quite a bit. I got more turtles today. I got the cormorant today as well. I got some baby geese, goslings. I have yet to get baby ducks. Man, I love baby ducks. And what else did I get this morning? I got the doves, and I mentioned before, doves are just simply beautiful. Flower says, Noble, you were meowing at a cat in a deep voice. You didn't even try to sound like a cat. Hey, some cats might have deep voices. It might have been a perfect impression of a deep voiced cat, actually. Noble says, it's good to hear, Destiny. My days are going great. I just got on the board of my fraternity yesterday. Hey, that's awesome. Congratulations, Noble. And Destiny says, please don't forget to hit the like button and share out just the Yogi doing burpees in his basement. Amazing channel. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, our friend C. Peyton is here. Kathy, how are you? Appreciate you being here. How is your project? Or are you able to talk much about it? Flower says hi to C. Peyton. Long time no see. How are you? So, I mentioned that morning routine. My honest opinion, everyone should have some type of morning routine that nourishes first thing, takes care of spirit and body. It's one and the same thing. First thing, soon as you get up. Everything else can wait. Everything else will be handled more effectively when you've taken care of yourself. You will be Jerry Seinfeld, who's a long time transcendental meditation practitioner, was asked, why do you get out of bed and the first thing you do is meditate? And he said, look at your bed. Look at your bed sheets. Does it look like anything peaceful has gone on through the night, through those 6, 7, 8 hours that you tried to sleep? Does it look like you were restful? It looks like you were in a wrestling match. And it's an excellent point. Our sleep very often doesn't restore us because we take so many of our problems, which is why it's important to also have a nighttime routine. Are you shutting things down, including your mind? Getting away from electronics so they don't affect your eyes, because it has a long-lasting effect. Try to get at least an hour after screen time and before you try to go to sleep. Are you giving enough time from your last meal to when you lie down and go to sleep? Because you don't want your digestion to interfere with your sleep. As well, what are you bringing into your subconscious mind as you go to sleep? In yoga, it would be termed the third state of consciousness, the second and third, dreaming and deep sleep. What are you bringing into that? Which is why, for me, it's important you read some type of holy or inspirational text. Preferably something that might be a little on the boring side, so you're not, or that you've been reading for years, so that it's well grooved, and you read it and it immediately readies you for sleep. And then you get up and you do that restorative practice in the morning. Destiny says, Noble, are you still feeding the crows? You're an amazing bird keeper. Yes, he is. He absolutely loves his crows. For good reason. Incredible birds. I love my neighborhood crows. Given the opportunity, I never pass up taking a little film clip of a crow, because you just never know what they're going to do. And Celtic lore, as well as Native American traditions, crows are gatekeepers to alternate realities. If you want to experience a different reality, different state of consciousness, befriend a crow. Give them a gift. Crows really appreciate gifts, as Noble can attest to. Noble says, have a good time with Noble. It might give people different vibes. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And hey, our friend Brian is here. Speaking of turtles, no one loves turtles more than Brian Lane. he was dropping some serious turtle knowledge on me the other day. I had some questions. Destiny says, Eric, a Zen master who has a heart of gold and a deep passion and love for humanity. That's beautiful. That's definitely beautiful. Everyone's saying hi to Brian. So I hope everyone here has had an opportunity to spend time on each other's channels and see what everyone is offering. Our friend Flower is putting out some more content. Flower says, nah, he activated my dirty mind, Noble. Brian says, may everyone have a great day. Thank you for that, Brian. Dusty says, hello and blessings to Brian Lane. How are you? As did Flower. And Destiny says, please don't forget to smash the like button and share out the hosts when you come in. Thanks. If I was Noble, I'd be pretty excited because I got 9 likes. And we all know that Noble started out doing 10 push-ups for every 10 likes. Yep, I just got 10. But now he does 20. I actually think, wow, I'm at 11. I actually think that there should be a carryover. That since I've already done my push-ups early in the morning, I did my chips, my dips, and my chins, as well as 3 pump burpees. So 3 push-ups for every burpee. That my likes should carry over to Noble. So when he starts his session, he can immediately do 20 push-ups in honor of my 11 likes. It's my gift to Noble. It's the least I can do for a good friend. Flower says, I've had a headache for 2 days. I can't shake it. Sorry to hear that. Are you hydrated? One of the first things that I notice if I get a headache, especially for an extended period of time, is that maybe I've slipped on my hydration just a bit. Kay says, I think you should do a yoga live, Yogi. That would be awesome. Our friend Duncan has suggested that as well. The thing is that I'm although a long-time practitioner of asanas, and I do have my 200-hour teaching certification. When we talk about the paths of yoga, I fall pretty firmly in the Raja Yoga, which is the yoga of meditation. I thought about doing a live guided meditation sometime. And if anyone would like to do that, and actually we could start it with maybe something like sun salutation and then do a live meditation. I'd love to do a guided meditation offering the experience of primordial sound meditation, where you begin, you focus on we would do breath work and then focus on the breath and then take the breath down into the heart center where we would just sit with it. And then you begin self-inquiry, where we ask the question, what's called the 4 soul questions. Who am I? What do I want? What is my purpose? What am I grateful for? And you would ask that, but not so much looking for answers. So when I say, who am I? I'm not looking for the answer of, I'm Eric, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this job. What I want to do is let go of every answer, knowing ultimately that's not who I am. I'm not just Eric, because that's a name. What if my parents named me Bob? I wouldn't be Eric any longer. I'd be someone else. And I'm not my job. I'm not even my body, because what happens if I lose a finger? Am I less of who I am? Um, my body's changed. I can't be something that's continuously changing. So you just keep letting those go. You keep letting those go. The same with, what do I want? What do we really want? Past all the, I want more money, I want a better car, I want a better relationship. Letting each of them go and find out what we really want. Same with, what's our purpose? And taking that question, what am I grateful for, to the deepest possible level, where we get to the point that I'm grateful just for existence, just for being. Then we've reached something pretty significant. And then you do a statements. You say, for me, I would say to myself, I am Eric McCarty, followed by I am Eric, followed by I am, simply resting in that I am. And then you take the Sanskrit expression for I am, aham. That's a primordial sound. It's the sound of the breath when we say I am, aham. And we meditate on that sound, aham, silently to ourselves. And we extend that all the way through the meditation, aham, reaching that point of silence, relaxing there, resting there. That's the process of primordial sound meditation. So thank you. I like that suggestion, Kay. I like the fact it just opened me up to all kinds of different things. Flower says, oof. My favorite expression from Flower is oof. Are you better? If not, I hope you get better. I hope so too. Hey, Kayla Boo is here. Says, good morning. Kayla, how are you? Dottie is here. Speaking of awesome channels, Dottie, well, let's go back. Awesome channels. And Kayla Boo has an awesome channel. I see her going live early for me when I'm just going out for my work, like 5 o'clock in the morning. And sometimes I'll click her and have her play through. And Dottie, one of my all-time favorite channels, just popping in quickly. Got 10 minutes before I collect my son. Hoping you all have a beautiful day. Thank you, Dottie. I hope you do as well. And I appreciate the 10 minutes. Steve Payton says hi to Kayla. Flower says, I'm going to go and look at yesterday's live after this. Going to check out the conversation with Chris K. Flower says hi to Kayla. Peyton says hi to Dottie. Dottie says that she's very well. Thank you. Dottie, man, you've been putting out some beautiful videos lately. Absolutely beautiful. Brian says he's doing good. Night Watcher's here. Night Watcher, how are you? Flower says thanks to Brian and hope he's having a great day as well. Flower wants to know how the boarding school thing is going. Excellent question. Kyle says, like the stream. Thanks, I appreciate that, Kyle. So, you heard me talk about turtles and cows, a little bit about chickens, crows. What's the animal, um, for lack of a better expression, what's your spirit animal? For Noble, it might be a crow, might be a bear. I got a thing with bears too. Absolutely love bears and foxes and beavers. I have a beaver in my neighborhood. Only seen it once, um, but I'm hoping to catch it. Not physically catch it. I'm hoping to catch it on camera. Um, Brian has a deep love of turtles. Not a spirit animal, but we know Dr. Destiny, a deep relationship with trees. And if you don't think that trees have consciousness or trees are consciousness, um, spend an hour just being with the tree, just putting your hands on a tree and just feeling that energy. And we can do that with anything, actually, just opening ourselves up to the experience of nature itself. From clouds, trees, a single blade of grass, ants. One of my all-time favorite books, I first read it in the 1980s, D. Allen Boone, Kinship with All Life. And it starts with his developing a relationship with a fly. And people think that's ridiculous until you, one, read the book, or two, have a relationship with something like that yourself. A house fly, a house spider. Um, all it takes is putting aside any preconceived notions we have on intelligence versus consciousness. There's nothing more intelligent than a fly because it's perfectly suitable and adapted to its life in a way not even we are. Um, a fly is never at war with itself. A fly doesn't have an attack of anxiety um, or question its worth. A fly is simply beingness itself, which we are too, except we've added layers and layers and layers of ego. And I don't mean ego in a, um, you know, egoic bad way. I mean ego as just in personality, which again isn't bad, except when we believe that's all that we are is that ego. And we don't include the awareness of the ego as the main part of our identity. Some might say, some spiritual traditions will say it's the only part. Everything comes from awareness, which I fall into that camp myself. So, Night Watcher says, I'm good. I got a really big happiness boost. Scott Christian Sava, the artist I admire the most, drew one of the most influential Bengalis in history, uh, R.N. Tagore. I'm familiar with Tagore. He actually won the Pulitzer Prize. Great, great writer and a great spiritual teacher as well. Brian says, you're welcome, Daddy. I hope you're doing okay today, Night Watcher. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Hey, Night Watcher, I'm really glad that you got that happiness boost. Peyton says, I had a headache for 2 days. I'm still working on my project. You think it might be stress? I know it's a pretty big thing because you're working on something that involves an extremely important person, as you've mentioned. And again, make sure that you're well hydrated. And make sure you take care of yourself, that you're doing some things to alleviate the stress. I always mention breath work, I always mention yoga, but even just a simple 5-minute meditation where you're focusing on the breath, or 5 minutes of prayer work, or let's bring this up. 5 minutes of chanting Om will significantly reduce your stress level, change your brainwave function, increase gratitude, increase the natural production of nitrous oxide, NO2, which is a feel-good molecule. It also increases energy. Flower says, that's great to hear, Night Watcher. It is, definitely. Flower says, I barely understood that with the little typos. Odom is here. Odom, I just mentioned you a little bit earlier, talking about channels that have inspired me. Odom says, hey, just a yogi doing burpees in his basement and chat. Sorry, I can't type. Everyone, talk, listening at work. Appreciate that. Flower says, by the way, I don't think I've asked you this, but what's your gender, Night Watcher? And Night Watcher is male. Night Watcher says, some is so, and dot is don't. Flower says, Odom, completely fine with chat here. Odom, props for listening at work. I agree. I definitely appreciate that. So, yeah, guys, spirit animals. What is it? What's yours? Night Watcher says it's okay, Odom. Dagmar is here. Says, hey, Eric, and everyone in the chat. Dagmar, how are you? Hey, if you guys want to go on a beautiful walk, check out Dagmar's channel and go on a walk with her. She literally takes you on a beautiful walk. I have Dagmar up right now. Here she is, guys. Taking a walk after the rain. Dagmar says, oh my, thank you so much for all your support. Absolutely my pleasure. Seriously though, absolutely my pleasure. I enjoy having it up. And I, again, I have it up through the day. From when I first turn on the computer to the last thing I do, I click it off, as well as helping out with Ivy and a few other people, our friend Noble, and other people too, as they pop up. Not to mention all my burpee and fitness friends. But Dagmar, what I really like about your channel is I can enter it anywhere. I can have it up and running, and just, I bring it up now, and I'm on a walk with a beautiful dog. And I get to join you on a walk right from my little office, right from my chair. So when I say the pleasure is all mine, I really mean the pleasure is all mine. Oh, and C. Peyton, by the way, I love having her up and running as well. Flower is asking how Dagmar is. C. Payton says, I've started losing subs again. Um, you know what? I think it's a Facebook thing. I think that, some accounts are uh, shut down or suspended, or people close them down themselves, or maybe for whatever reason they might not be legit accounts. One thing I definitely learned is to not immediately think that um, it's content. To not immediately think that it's a reflection on my channel and the stuff that I put out, because I have no idea. You know, it's happened to me as well. I was right on the verge of 5,000 the other day. I think I just needed like 4 or 5. I think maybe even less at one time. It might have been 3. And then all of a sudden, it's sort of dropping again. Um, but don't go up with the ups and down with the downs. Um, Always easy to say. Um, but YouTube, like everything else, is a practice, meaning that we get this opportunity to check in with ourselves. How am I reacting to what's going on? Am I reacting to it, or am I being responsive to it? Um, am I able to relax? Am I able to view it objectively and not get caught up? And if I am get caught up, can I take a breath and recompose myself? Get to that point of peace again, and then just focus on putting out that quality content, which is why we're all here on YouTube. We have something of passion that we want to share. Um, and it's an art form, all of it. Um, Whatever it is that stirs our passion is an art form. Everyone's saying hi to see Peyton, Kathy. Hey, our friend Osiris is here. Derek, good day listening in while working. Appreciate that, Derek. Derek put in a monster squat session yesterday. Flower says, why would people unsub to an amazing channel? See, Peyton. I agree. But again, they might not have, it might not, sorry, be a case of unsubbing. It simply might be a case of, you know, people shutting down their own channels, having the channels shut down. Who knows? Some might have been like, having multiple channels and they decided they didn't want it anymore. Dagmar says, gave you a shout out on my community page, Eric. Thank you. I appreciate that. Very much so. Destiny says hello to Kayla Bill. Flower says, Osiris, you too. Dagmar says, gives Osiris a wave. Osiris says hello to all. Osiris is someone that puts in the work, gets in the reps. I've mentioned before, one of the things I really admire about Derek's channel, how he went with where his body and his mind and his heart was leading him as far as fitness. He didn't just stick with one thing because that's what he knew. Just expanded at first just a little, and then a little more, and then a little more, and just opening up to the possibilities. Peyton says, I think it's mostly stress. Good thing is, you can alleviate that. get in a really gentle morning yoga routine, and I mean really gentle. I always offer sun salutation, but followed up with child's pose, um, maybe a forward bend, definitely some type of um, restorative inversion, downward dog, shoulder stand, then getting out in nature. Even 5 minutes in nature has such a positive impact. Your brain waves, again, immediately begin to change. Um, it's been shown that exposing yourself to fractals, which are the patterns, the self replicating patterns found within nature as well as the brain and throughout the body as well. We have body organs that are actually fractals. Um, but your eyes begin to respond to fractals within the very first few seconds, less than seconds, milliseconds, um, that you get out in nature. And it reduces stress in a short period of time by up to 60% just by being out in nature. Imagine combining that with some easy breath work. And breath work is so easy. If you want to change your physiological state as well as your emotional state, going from fight or flight, sometimes fight and flight, to rest and digest, nasal breathing, breathe in through the nose for a count of 4. Doesn't have to be 4 seconds, your own count. Breathing in for 4. Exhale through the nose for a count of 8. Do that for 10 rounds. 1 round is breathing in, breathing out. And you'll immediately enter into, within 10 breaths, enter into that parasympathetic nervous state, the rest and digest state, simply by doing that little bit of breath work. And that greatly decreases stress. Destiny says, thanks everyone for joining the host for his live discussion. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. Thanks. Thank you, Destiny. 13 likes. Again, if I was noble, I'd be doing push-ups right now. Night Watcher says, see Peyton, how does someone lose subs? I've probably only subscribed to a total of 24 channels, and I'm subbed to 1,000 plus subs. I've probably only subscribed to 24. Runner Boy is here. I got his squat workout queued up to watch a little bit later. He said, just reading the headline, he said it was a bit of a disappointing session. If you guys, especially Derek, are you following Runner Boy? Brian Lane too. Actually, everyone. But I think specifically the lifters. Runner Boy, I mention this every time he pops in. I mention it sometimes when he doesn't pop in. The most systematic and intelligent training process of anyone I've seen on YouTube, on par with everyone that I've seen on YouTube. Just such an intelligent approach, which you don't often see in younger people. You actually don't often see it in some older people too. Something about, I think, being in a gym, even a home gym, changes how we approach things. The ego gets highly involved, and we start doing things that we know better, and we know that they lead towards injury. You know, a rep that doesn't fit the protocol of what a rep should be, or putting on a little more weight than we know we should do. Ego reps. You don't see that from Runner Boy. Everything is laid out, all part of the plan. Destiny says hello to Dottie. Dagmar is waving at Night Watcher. Flower says, I don't have much storage, so I don't sub a lot. I certainly appreciate the sub, Flower. Sometimes I wonder, you know, a lot of other people here I have connections with, but um, Flower, you were very spontaneous. You just arrived out of nowhere, um, and then stuck around, which I'm extremely grateful for. Kay says that would be amazing as well, Yogi. Um, Thanks. I think I'll put that in the work, and I really appreciate the suggestion, the inspiration behind it. Flower says, "How are you, runner?" Runner Boy says, "I could do a video following along with your meditation guide voice, maybe." Man, that sounds really good. For one, I'd love to work with somebody on something like that. Two, uh, man, you put together quality videos. I always like people's voiceovers. You do a great voiceover. Osiris does great voiceovers. Destiny says, "Hello and blessings, Odom." Jeremy and Cheryl's cruise adventures are here. I gotta admit, guys, thanks to Mayhem and Miracles, as well as James Guy, I got a slight addiction to cruise channels. Um, it's just fun hearing them talk. Same with gaming channels. These are things that I never thought about exploring until I thought about supporting them. Um, and then when you dive in, you discover um, a whole different depth to that connection of what people are offering, and especially people, Jeremy and Cheryl, um, and our friend uh, Spinny Deuces 187 and Tokyo, what they put in to their channels, the passion and joy of a gaming channel or a cruise channel. Not to mention, if you're going on a cruise, you want to have some good information, and they definitely give you some. So everyone is saying hi. Kathy says, "Night Watcher, I was at 389 now. I am not. I don't know. Take it back. I was 390. You'll be back up, and even more. I have no doubt that you'll hit the 1,000 plus and keep growing." Dagmar says, "I'm still connected to you, C. Peyton, uh, but numbers do go up and down, sometimes with 10 a day." Yeah, as I mentioned, I 2-day period, I dropped about 10. And I never know with like a nature short, there's no way I can predict what um, people are going to respond to. I did um, the turtles one this morning, falling off a log, um, which I just thought was awesome, and it got like I think six views, and then some of the ones with deers have gotten 2 or 3,000. What I'm saying, hi to everyone. Flower says, "Going to check out the conversation with Chris K. You got it." Yeah, that's what I thought. Kathy says, "Thank you, Dagmar." Flower says, "Hi to Sir Odom." Dagmar says, is Eric way behind the chat? I'm probably way behind the chat. Or am I missing people? Flower says, she really is. Flower likes seeing me get in trouble on the chats. The other day, I accidentally hit the mute button and had talked to everyone for 3 minutes without a single thing coming out. And she was quite amused by that, as she should be. Flower says, so much for having long answers. It's true. Runner Boy says, maybe we were just fast. Fast, and you know what? I do have a tendency to give long answers. Runner Boy says, frog. Man, that's a pretty awesome spirit animal. I haven't seen a frog yet this year. I should be now that the weather's warmer. It got up, I mentioned before, it got up to 91 degrees yesterday, probably 90 today. And 2 days ago, it was in the high 50s, or the high was in the 50s. Destiny says, my spirit animal is a dragonfly. Man, I'd love to get a dragonfly on film. I've been trying. Just not steady enough yet, but hopefully as my skills improve, I would absolutely love to get it on film and offer that as a gift to Destiny. They're such beautiful, beautiful creatures. Dagmar says, how do you know what your spiritual animal is? What tugs at your heart? What shows up? And it doesn't have to be always in person. Like, I have dreams of bears, but obviously I don't see them that often. I've seen them in the past, but not that often here. We did have one wander through my neighborhood last year, but I didn't get a chance to see it. And you can obviously have more than one, but it's the one that speaks most to your heart. Derek says, I'm good, DFW. How are you? Runner Boy says, did you hear about this study that they found trees talk to each other through clicking? We can't hear. I haven't seen that, but I know that they communicate with each other through their web system and using fungi. Worldwide wood is what they call it. And that when a tree falls in a forest, and by the way, I think Osiris might agree with this. When a tree falls in the forest and no one is there to hear it, it does not make a sound. It makes vibrations, but without a perceiver, no sound is actually made. That would be the proper Zen answer. But when a tree does fall, that surrounding trees will actually send nourishment to the stump, keeping it alive for as long as possible. And then, of course, when the stump does eventually die, it returns back to the earth where it nourishes the trees around it. It's truly a community of beingness. Force is a living thing. Thanks for adding that, Runner Boy. Night Watcher says, I don't have a spirit animal, but my favorite animal has to be the Royal Bengal tiger, my country of Bangladesh national animal. Those are beautiful animals. I'd love to see a tiger. I always liked Siberian tigers, but all of them, all tigers are beautiful. Destiny says, hello to Runner Boy. Boy, I really am far behind, aren't I? Runner Boy says, hi, Destiny. I've been here, just can't content sometimes. Appreciate that. Appreciate you being here. So I'm I hate missing any comment. So if I don't read it, I'm going to do my best going missing some greetings so I can get to um, others, so I can catch up. Dagmar says, I really have a thing for a lot of animals. I can even uh, unalive. Unalive. What a great word. I love that. Unalive a spider. I put them outside like every creature. I am much the same. And some spiders, if they're obviously of the non-poisonous, and we don't have a lot of poisonous ones here, I actually will leave them inside. Um, I've looked up some of the ones, and sometimes they come into a house for a reason, um, because they will keep you free of other insects that might enter your house. So they actually keep you safe. Um, and I try to develop a little bit of a relationship when they come in my house. I greet them, talk to them. My cats get very annoyed with that. Man, I want to remember that unalive. I absolutely love that. Odom says, thanks for me, a dog, because I'm loyal. I'm very protective of my pack. Doesn't get any more awesome than a dog. I miss having a dog. I've mentioned before, it's been 5 years since I lost my last one, and I still can't yet bring myself. Although, Mocha's dog, Misty, is mine as well. We walk together. I get to spend time with her. She's a wonderful dog. Burner Boy says, sadly, putting spiders outside does kill them. They can't handle the cold. Dagmar says, be right back. Destiny, perfect answer. Dagmar, the universe will reveal everything to you through signs and synchronicity. Exactly. Flower says, let's stop chatting for a while and let our old Yogi catch up. It might take me a while. Noble says, I hope all is well, Yogi. I upped my game to 20 push-ups for every 10 likes. I saw that. I saw that yesterday. Night Watcher says, yeah. Noble says, what's up, Night Watcher? Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully, our friend Noble will be up with the live session soon and be able to catch him. Destiny says, Flower, an active chat is good for the Yogi algorithm and channel growth. This is true. Osiris says, octopus. Did you see the a Netflix special? And I'm trying to think of the name. I have several books on my pile of books to read on octopus. Cy Montgomery has a wonderful book on octopus. When I think of consciousness within animals, within other life forms, you can't escape at the top of my list, octopus. Such curious creatures. And the fact that they are just so kinetic. How every single part of them is alive in such an amazing way. Consciousness through its entire body. Okay, says hello to Osiris. Kathy says a sub to Destiny. Awesome. I'm glad you guys made that connection. Destiny says, I understand you, running boy. Osiris says, hey to K. Night Watcher says, everyone please stop typing. Let Eric Yogi catch up. I'll get there. Let's see. We'll skip some of the ones. Dagmar says, sorry, listening, couldn't catch up. Or couldn't type. Dagmar says, at some point the subs stick and you go up. Yeah, you reach those a new level. You hit a plateau, you might go down a bit, you hit another plateau, and then you go up, and the whole process starts again. Kathy says I haven't been on YouTube like I should because I have a lot going on right now. And that might be a reflection as well. Although, I mentioned before, I really did enjoy the little tour of Albuquerque. What a beautiful town. Night Watcher says, Yogi, don't worry, I'll send you a care package of 6 alternate accountant subs. I appreciate that. You don't actually know what it means, but I appreciate it. Dagmar says, your channel will grow again. It took me forever to get the 1K. Dagmar says, I'm afraid I have to go now. Guys, I appreciate all of you. Have a nice day and evening. I appreciate you too, Dagmar. I'm going to be joining in on your walks. When I'm through all the walks, I'm going to start over at the beginning and join you through again. Dagmar says, the walks with my dog in nature give me so much energy. And it's beautiful. Cyrus says, I love fractals. And I knew you would. Mocha and Duncan and I had an awesome conversation about fractals. Dagmar says, now I really have to go. Flower says, hey, Eric, if Chris comes in later and you can't make it, tell him that I would have been happy to see him. I actually did say that. I said that you've asked about him several times. Flower says, 14 likes on my side. Flower says, don't really feel safe in our room. Especially when the lights are off like now. I'm sorry to hear that. Sarah says, just subbed the Runner Boy. Man, you're really going to like his channel. Just so clearly laid out in his lifting goals and what he wants to achieve and how to get there. Flower says, this is back to what I asked before. Well, I really am behind. And I actually have to go soon, so I apologize. I just kind of popped in and said, hey, I'm here. I'm not leaving. You'll have to deal with me. That literally is how it seems to happen. And I've been happily and lovingly dealing with you ever since. It's a truly a pleasure having you show up every day. Night Watcher says it's kind of funny. I like to sketch more. The making good art, like my brain just likes the process of drawing. It's actually, it becomes a definitely becomes a form of meditation. Flower says, what was the opposite of claustrophobia? Fear of open spaces. I actually don't know. Kay says, the dragonfly is beautiful. I had one in my garden last year and was able to capture it. It scared me initially. Yeah, they're beautiful, intricate, and graceful. Gigantophobia. Odin says, I see dragonflies in the garden every day. Flower says, trees that fall in the forest. Okay, that reminded me of Jojo Siwa's Karma. Not sure what that is. Sounds interesting, though. Cases really, Odom, they scare me when they creep up on me and fly close to me. I think that is a good, it's a good omen, though, okay? Odom says they're eating all the mosquitoes, okay? Yeah, they do good work. Kay says they're definitely welcome then. Destiny says I don't talk to spiders, never. Uh, yes, don't run from spiders, Eric. Uh, do, yes, do run from spiders, Eric. Um, takes a little getting used to. You know, spiders have a bad reputation, but when you start communicating, when you start talking to them, um, things begin to change. All right, I'm working my way towards the finish. Odom says, I'm up to 25 two-pump burpees, like a fish out of water, but I'm getting there. That's awesome. 25 two-pump. That's no joke, Odom. Congratulations. Flower says, I hear police sirens. What was that, Eric? I'm really noisy. That is life in suburbia. I actually thought about writing that tomorrow because Tuesday, is lawn care day, according to the Homeowners Association. Um, and they're everywhere. Lawnmowers, leaf blowers, grass blowers, and then it seems there's almost always a siren. And I live in such a beautiful area, so much nature. Um, Flight patterns have changed, so there's almost always airplanes going by. And it's stressful for nature, not to mention creating a low level stress in people who hear it. And we mostly don't even notice it anymore, but it still has that effect on our stress level. I think we need, I think nationally, I think globally, a complete day of silence or quiet, I should say, where we just, we tone things down a little bit. Of course, we'll always have that need for a siren. You know, you hear the siren and you know someone's getting help in some way. So that's important. I don't begrudge that. But the airplanes and the leaf blowers, I like my leaves where leaves are. I have no need to see them blown about. T. Payton said I had a phone call. Oh, actually, and it might be, I had a phone call too, so that might be what you heard. Night Watcher says, yo, I got you to 4.99K subs. Wow, how do you manage that? That's amazing. I see 4.991. 9 away from hitting that big 5. Thank you for that. Night Watcher says my alternate account. Oh, hey, that's cool. Flower says, Jojo Siwa, hell no, it's more than interesting. It's traumatizing. I'm going to have to look it up. Night Watcher says, for some reason, I hate overly religious people. I welcome them all in. I actually enjoy having conversations with extremely religious people. Um, Even though, I don't lean in the direction of being overtly religious, but I grew up, going to Catholic school. Um, I don't consider myself Catholic or Christian, but I love the Catholic faith, and I love especially Christian mystics, the people who've developed a great relationship with God. I mean, a personal relationship where they're in communication, like where Meister Eckhart, the 12th century German mystic, said, the eye in which I see God is the same eye in which God sees me. That's that close connection. Or St. Catherine of Siena saying, all the way to heaven is heaven. So Night Watcher says, like, what's God going to do to you? It was his choice to make you born and have bad moments in life. I would like to think people would hate God because the sole reason we have bad things happening in life. One way to look at it, of course, there's infinite other ways of looking at it as well. People have the relationship with God depending on where they are in their own life at this point. And it can't be anything other until the relationship itself expands and opens for it to be other. So for me, it's important not to judge others for any belief or any faith that they have, as well as mine, because things that I believed in just a few years ago have no longer resonate with me. And, I hold every single one of my beliefs lightly, willing to let them all go in a moment. I don't want to cling to anything, not even my opinion. Flower says, Eric, if you want to get scared for the rest of your life, the rest of your existence, sure, go ahead and search it up. I'm definitely going to do so. So I am caught up, and it is time for my second meditation. So I'm going to have to say goodbye. We'll be back at 5-ish this evening. Man, I really enjoyed this conversation with each and every one of you. Obviously, I absolutely love talking about animals, all kinds. And I'm really glad to hear the animals that resonate with you guys. So, with that, it's going to be bye. And hold on for a second, guys. Oh, I was going to show you my cat, but she just jumped away. C. Peyton says, take care, Eric. You too. I hope your headache lets up, as well as your stress. And you definitely got my support across the board for your channel and for you as well, Kathy. Tara says, see you, Eric. I'll try to make it if you can. Kay says, have a great day, everyone. Great live. Thank you. I really enjoyed it, and I really appreciate you being here, Kay. And Kay, I'm looking forward to tomorrow and seeing what is on the plate for the month of May. Not that something has to be. I know you're going to continue being fit with a challenge or without a challenge. But I am curious if you're going to have one. So Flower says, bye, Eric. Bye, chat. Peyton says, bye, everyone. Night Watcher says to Yogi, did you know the word ole, the Spanish word for well, came from Allah because of Atlantis. I can't pronounce it, and I can't see it that well. Took over Spain, and Arabic slowly mixed with Spanish. I actually knew about the Spain and Arabic mixing slowly together, but I did not know that's where the word ole came, and I really like that. Thank you. And as everyone knows, I absolutely love the word wow, being a natural expression. And I'll save that for tonight's discussion. So, guys, thanks again. Very much appreciate it. And we'll either see you later tonight or tomorrow, or, hey, the next time you have the time to pop in. Thanks. There we go.